Con hasn't even started yet. This is Thursday. Almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, if you can, you can sign that. Are they? Yeah, I was never able to get number 2.
I've got 2.
And you do have number 2.
I've got number 2.
I got 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I've got like I have to check. I might have it at home. So.
Oh really? Oh okay.
I can check really quick. So
yeah, I'd like to buy this one as well.
Let me check to see if I've got 2 back there.
Okay.
What's it up here? Oh, I've got two different cover choices for 2.
Oh, nice.
So I've got the Moritz hat and I've got St. Cabbage cover.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
Nice. How much are those?
Those are 10.
10?
I've seen for 20 online, but I just can't pay them.
Okay.
Like I always check eBay for the early stuff. Like the first 4 issues I've got like marked up a bit, but everything else I've got for a cover or lesson. Our lesson covers.
Nice.
So trade of 1.
Yeah, I'll take that one and that one.
Okay. So actually I'll do this. This is covered for 24. But I'll do 20 for this and 10 for this, so 30 for both.
30 even? Great. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks. I got a stack for you if you don't mind. Thanks.
Makes me feel important.
Thank you. That's cool.
Because he died.
Ooh, original Battlestar, the Cylons. Oh yes, beautiful. And I love this. This is so cool. Minbari Star Cruisers. Oh man, they're fighting the shadows. That's awesome.
It just sounds like.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I mean, like I said, to get a critically one of these.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Really? Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. Okay, so if this is the Enterprise, then what's that one? Did the Enterprise have another Constellation class sister ship?
Yeah.
No, this is cool. They got all 3 of them all together. Voyager, or not Voyager, that's the Enterprise. Bring on. Oh yes. Come on. Phoenix Comicon. God. 60 or 7 of 9, whatever.
The story that I'm going to tell you in dramatic fashion is my entry in the chapbook, The Clash of the Geeks. If you were here last year and you came to Super Happy Fun Times? Super Happy Fun Times with Will and John, your eyes may have been permanently scarred with an image quite similar to this one. This is me wearing a clown sweater and a pair of hot pants, wielding a spear. So, all right, all of that makes sense. But I'm riding a unicorn Pegasus kitten, and I am apparently locked in some kind of battle with John Scalzi, who is an orc. If you're listening online, you can find this at clashofthegeeks.com or unicornpegasuskitten.com. Or if you Google for Unicorn Pegasus Kitten, and leave safe search on. The entire head of the rider's own spear stuck out from his chest, pushing the evil grin on his armor into a twisted and even more grotesque mask. Blood gurgled in the rider's mouth, matching the blood that covered the spear and flowed down across him. He gasped through foaming, bloody spittle and clutched at it frantically. Islak crouched down and placed his face close to the dying rider's ear. "You can't pass." Favorite thing I have ever written.
This huge place and the temperature here. Is this bothering? Yes, I've heard dry heat. That's why I feel more like a prune today. Anyway, no, I don't have a heck of a lot to talk about. There was this huge build-up to Tron Legacy, which was very exciting for all of us involved. And it's like so typical. You're so anxious for it to open. It opens, does what it does, and it's gone. And then they were quick to get the DVDs out, which was good. But I have no new announcements so far as a future one. All I know is that the script is being written and worked on right now. And Joe Kaczynski, who is contracted to direct Legacy, contracted to do the next one. And he's doing right now, I think he's in prep for another film called Oblivion. And I think after that, probably maybe by next summer, who knows. But anything can happen, I think it's logical that they would go with another one.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's wonderful for all of you to turn out this early in the morning, or maybe it's not that early in the morning, I don't know. I was in a local Irish pub last night. Around the corner, I forget what McElhaney. There you go. Go to a pub, you memorize the name. Had a great time there. And Phoenix looks fun. It really does. So I haven't been here in probably 30 years.
Oh, too long.
Oh, I've been to Sedona. Just to shoot Kenny Rogers and the Gambler movies down there. So, back in my Wild West days.
How about Tucson?
Huh?
How about Tucson?
Tucson. Old Tucson. That was terrible. That was home away from home in the 70s. You know, so, anyway, so it's so good to see you all. And why don't we just get to the questions? I do better that way.
Okay, that's what it's doing.
Yes, sir.
Hi, first, thank you for coming here. I was wondering if I could actually ask my question to Alan Bradley.
What?
Alan Bradley.
I left him at home. Alan Bradley, I don't know. But yes, what?
All right. So it's okay?
When I hear the question, we'll decide.
So, Mr. Bradley, now that San Flynn has returned to NCOM, what conflicts do you see between him and the son of your previous rival, Edward Dillinger Jr.?
You'll have to wait till Tron 3. Let me just say, Cillian Murphy doesn't do uncredited cameo roles, you know? So if you didn't catch that little foreshadowing, you know, I mean, he's definitely in the future film, so. And I think his daddy, the character he's playing, his father, I think he should be getting out of prison about that time. Ed Dillinger Sr. And I know David Warner was lobbying hard to be in this movie in the last film, but I think, you never know.
All right, thank
He
you.
may show up again.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Jeremy, and again, I would like to thank you for coming to Phoenix Comicon this year.
Thank you.
My question is, while you were making the original Tron, did you ever think... Excuse me.
Yes.
Did you ever think that Tron would ever become such a worldwide phenomenon, also to spawn a sequel many years later?
That's a very good question. No, I didn't. No, we didn't. What am I sneezing? Wow.
Phoenix.
Welcome.
Ragweed? Oh. Let me answer that question. You know, you do a job at the time. In fact, I was outside Old Tucson when I got this script from my agent, this thing called Tron, and I was doing a Western ad for NBC, and I was sitting out on a horse, and I had a script in a saddlebag, and in between shots, we're sitting out there in the heat, and I'm in a black coat, black hat, absorbing everything, you know, the sun. And I'm reading this thing going, what the hell is this? And, you know, it wasn't until I got back to Hollywood, and I more or less was going to say, you know, let's pass on this. I don't know what, but he said, it's a Disney feature. And I went, yeah, you're right, but I don't understand it. I don't know it. Okay, it's kind of like Star Wars, but maybe it's not. I guess it's like in a game. Okay, I see Spartacus, I get it. Okay, it's kind of like a gladiators in a game, and then I see this, with arcade and all that. I went, wow. Okay, but then I found out Jeff Bridges, who was a peer, a contemporary, and I always admired all of his work that I'd been following. And so I said, oh my God, he's attached to it, okay. And so I met at Disney, and they wanted me, and so I said, okay, let's put on the tights. And I couldn't put them on anymore, I guarantee you. Thank God I didn't have to wear that suit. You know that suit they wore in Legacy? They were constantly getting shocked in it. You know, they'd start sweating inside the thing, and the thing like circuits, because this one had electricity running through it. You know, they had to go plug them in when they were, all the lights went off. They took all the lights off and saved the electrical one. And then the first AD, when they were ready to roll again, he'd go, all right, light them up. And You know, that scene where you had all those extras at the, was it the... End of Line Club. Thank you. Usually you guys know more about it than I do. And that was it. You know, they lit up like it looked like a birthday cake going up or something, you know. But anyway, to answer your question, no, it's not. You do a job and you never think, you know, it's going to go anywhere other than that, especially feature film. Especially in 1982, Tron came out to fairly lukewarm reviews. In fact, some downright mean ones. And because they didn't know what they were looking at. And the kids got it. I always say that the kids who were putting quarters in those arcade machines, who were a lot of you older people.
Yeah.
Thank you to all those quarters. And I'll be down in the hall over there collecting more quarters today. You know, they got it. And I think the establishment of Hollywood's, you know, I wouldn't say Disney because they had the foresight to do the thing. They had the vision. But you know, I mean, I know, I would have never thought there would have been a sequel that was rumored for years. And I thought, well, maybe like 10, you know, we didn't get into this sequelitis that Hollywood got into probably until the late 80s. So we were a bit before that time. You know, we had Die Hards and you had, I mean, everything went to 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now the last Johnny Depp movie, I think they milked that cow dry. I really do. I'd step away from Pirates of the Caribbean now and let it just be a ride, you know?
Yeah.
I saw the last one and it's, when in doubt, have another sword fight. There's every other movie all in one, 2 hours and 15. So I think they have to. I know, I just found out Jeff is also signed for the next one, and Garrett and Olivia are. I have nothing contractually, so they can use me or not use me. But
They should.
I agree.
Yay.
Wearing my original Tron crew t-shirt. And my disc on the back here. Be careful, I still have a few moves.
I wrote things about Babylon 5.
Yay.
4 years, and you're sitting there and you're reading the scripts. Was there one line that just caught you from any character that just, you carry it with you to this day? It was like that poignant, that profound, even that funny, that it just, you always had that memory of that line and from that episode.
Now get the hell out of my galaxy. Today would be my universe. Now, you know, there were so many great lines in Babylon 5. JMS was such a wonderful writer.
Yay.
Still the best material I ever got to work with. I still say that, Tron, all of them, you know. It was an absolute honor to do that show.
How long does it take to do one of these?
About 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, without color?
Without color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's okay. I'm just gonna sneak around.
Let me talk.
gonna come on Sunday only. Hey, could you do like an R2-D2 droid figure? Or would you need reference?
No, I probably need reference, but I can totally do it.
Well, I mean, maybe not today, but we can like commission you to do one maybe?
You know these are yours.
That would be cool.
Sure, yeah, this should be
That is
email.
gonna clean them.
I have plenty of just do my PayPal and then
Nice.
punch all up and email it to you.
Okay. You don't remember me, except for, hey Greg, oh I'm Gary, oh sorry. that was it.
Here's the IT department.
First, and I mean, you'll see.
Just to clarify, the ballroom is on the first floor of the north building. If you go upstairs, you can get directions, and it is a large area just outside of the main entrance. If you have any directions, please see anybody that has lockers, badge, all your security.
They're over here. Cameron's complaining his guns too heavy. What size is it? We know you like it.
No, dude, that was horrible. You put those horrible pants.
That's the only one we had. That was just chicken.
All the originals.
Barely hear my own self think.
Anyone want Lord of the Rings sauce? It's free.
Awesome. Thanks. By the way, I have to mention the pens on your sleeve. I don't know where you found that shirt, but that's really cool.
Military and police supply stuff.
Really?
Yes.
That is so cool.
What's really funny is, I saw these because they had the pens on the pocket, and so I bought them. And it turns out they are great because they're cut across the back, so they've got a mesh there, so they're cool when it wants to be cool, but they're warm when you need it to be warm. And they've got extra pockets, and so they're an absolute joy to wear. And all sorts of authors come up and go, oh man, that's an author shirt.
Yeah.
Where can I get one of those? And it's only the guys who are cool that I tell.
Boy, thank you.
Can you make it to my son-in-law? He wasn't able to make it. Sure, what's his name? Michael. Oh, okay.
They're under the table.
Go to speak at a college in Billings, Montana. And were you there? A long time ago. Anyway, I decided to go because I thought it would be peaceful, get away from Hollywood, and to stay at this college, and I landed at the airport. They drove me to a local motel, and I was in the room 5 minutes unpacking when the phone rang. I couldn't imagine who could be calling me. And, what are you doing? What I didn't know. So, the phone rang, and I picked it up and answered it. Hello? And the young female voice said, "Hi, is this Mr. Nemo?" And I said, "Yes, it is." Oh my God, oh! I can't believe it. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, hi. She said, it was such big Star Trek thing. I said, "Who are you?" She said, "My name is Sally." I said, "Where are you calling me from?" She said, "St. Louis." "How did you find me?" She said, "I heard you were going to be speaking in buildings, and I called all the hotels and motels. There's only 3. Sally, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the call. There's some people waiting for me, and I've got to go now. So goodbye, and keep watching the show, and thank you very much. I finished packing. I was heading for the door. Not 3 minutes later, the phone rang again. I picked it up. Another female went, "Oh, hi, is this Mr. Nemo?" Yes. "Oh, wow, I got him. I got him on the phone. Who are you?" "My name is Mary. Where are you calling me from?" She said, "Denver." "How did you find me?" She said, "My friend Sally called me from San Diego."
Awesome.
Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, the Avengers, Hulk, Captain America, Fantastic Four, Daredevil. I mean, the creations of Stan Lee with artists Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and others changed the face of popular culture, as I know you're all aware because you're wearing the face of popular culture right now. He created heroes who had humanity as well as powers.
Yes.
And we connected with them, and we cared about them. And he's the man who made me want to read. I learned how to read with Spider-Man, and I honestly wouldn't be a writer, I don't think, if it wasn't for Stan Lee. So it is my greatest honor and pleasure to introduce my childhood icon and someone I get to now call a friend because of Phoenix Comicon last year. The one, the only, Stan Lee.
Good mic in the whole place. Now you gotta do it. Is that one working? I don't know, I kind of like standing up here. It feels powerful. Next time I wish you'd say something nice about it. Hey, Excelsior! Okay, that's it for me. I'm going.
Always walking on the highway, so it's a good idea. The other reason I had to come was to write a great injustice that has happened in Hollywood. It's something that I consider it's a personal mission of mine. We have the Oscars. We have Best Actor and Best Actress and Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress. Why don't we have an award for Best Cameo? I personally believe it's because the Oscars are not good enough for Stan Lee. He is in a category unto himself. Therefore, this year at Phoenix Comicon, we are going to give the first inaugural award, not the Oscar, but the Stan, for Best Brief Starring Role.
in a film and television series. And everyone, please.
My name's spelled right.
You want me to read that for you?
Yeah, take a one.
Yeah, so this says, greatest pre-starring role actor ever, Stan Lee, May 29, 2011, presented by your loyal followers.
I think, despite all of the challenges that we've had, looks very good. And I see it with the people here at the convention, yesterday. The people that I saw really reflect one of the key ideals of Star Trek, infinite diversity and infinite combinations. I saw so many wonderful people that have so many wonderful stories to tell about themselves. I saw a young couple with two Asian little girls and an Asian little boy that they were carrying, which represents part of what Gene Roddenberry wanted to see. And I see certainly all of the diversity of America here at this convention. And those people that want me to say, oh my, represents that other diversity that I found on radio, of all things. But this is the 21st century radio. It's not terrestrial, it's satellite. So that's connected me with a whole different new audience. And thank you all, and good to see some of you here. They want me to sign to Joe, oh my. It was a calamity on top of a catastrophe upon a disaster. And so I did a PSA urging people to send aid to the people of Japan. It was still winter there in northeastern Japan. It was still snowing. And they had no shelter, no drinkable water. I mean, it was water that destroyed them, but there was no drinkable water, very little food. And many of them had lost not only their homes, but their entire families. I mean, the need was desperate. And so the immediate need was great then, but now the need is for the rebuilding of the infrastructure. So I was doing a wonderful collection of Superman comic books that from my boyhood. They weren't first editions or anything like that, but they were just, comic books that I enjoyed, that I collected. But when I went off to college,
and came back on the summer holiday, I discovered that my mother had given it to the trash man. Because, you know, it was old newspaper that was there. It was heartbreaking. So that was my college year disappointment about superheroes.
For my next number, it's very clear. Our love is here to stay for a year, forever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. It's a long walk over here. Anyway, welcome. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Beautiful day today. It's nice to see your beautiful faces. Thank you for coming to hang out with me a little bit.
I'm Mohi. First off, like I say, still sounding as classy as ever. My question is, have you ever been dealt any hostility as a result of the actions of your character, Lando Calrissian?
Well, I got a few stories. Well, when my daughter was going to elementary school, I used to pick her up at the school, and I'd be standing in the courtyard waiting for her to come out of school, and I'd have our little friends run up to me and say, "You betrayed Han Solo!" And I found myself in the middle of this schoolyard, having this discussion and trying to justify Lando Calrissian's actions. So that was, and then I would go on a plane and have stewardesses accuse me of betraying Han Solo, and there again I found myself trying to justify Monsieur Lando Calrissian's actions. Yes, I've had a few moments. Yes.
Good.
You still make that suit look good.
Wait, I got some arms.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I know it seems a little silly to introduce this gentleman here because, well, how do you not know Ghostbusters? Because it's become such an important movie, such an important, just almost lifestyle. I mean, as you can see from our wonderful costumers in the back, Ghostbusters has had such a huge impact on the world for being just a great, wonderful, hilarious movie, and it has endured over time, and we love seeing all the products that come out of it. So thank you so much, Mr. Hudson, for joining us. We're very
I really want to say I'm deeply touched because I never expected that this many people would actually show up. But it's great. I'm glad you're here. You know, when we first set out to do the movie,
we thought we really need to do something really important, something that will change the world, something that people will watch for years and years to come, and introduce to their children, and the world will never be the same. No, I mean, you do these things, and luckily, thankfully, people like one or two of the hundreds that you do. And I have with me Bill Atherton, who's a good friend. One of my heroes, and I just have so much respect for him, and respect for you guys for loving the movie and showing up, and so we're all in this together, which is really kind of cool. I don't really have any thing. I know this is, I don't know how long it goes, but so it'll probably be more Q&A if you guys have anything you're really curious about. Just briefly, I'm here in Arizona shooting a movie called To Kill a Memory. And it really reminds me of why I became an actor in the first place, because I love working on this film. It's with Kix Brooks from Brooks and Dunn, and I got into it. It was kind of a low budget thing, but I'm riding horses, and we got the 6 guns, and we're just having a ball, and I'm loving Arizona. I mean, we're in Yuma, and we were in Tucson. What's great about Tucson? I mean, I was like, we're at a gambling casino that was kind of strange to me, but that's all right. But now we're in Benton, which is, it's like every fast food you can imagine, but no real food anywhere. And we're just out in the middle of nowhere, and it's really kind of great. So anyway, that's what's happening with me. I'm doing the show called Secret Life of the American Teenager. It's very popular with 11-year-old girls. It's a whole new fan base. I'm excited about that. They run up to me and they're like, hey, and I do Transformers Prime, which is so I'm blessed to stay busy and blessed to have you guys still supporting what we do. So that's all I really have to say. And so Bill and I are here, and would you like to say something before we do this?
Well, just, this is the first Comic-Con I've ever been to, and I can't tell you what a thrill it's been. It is enormous in terms of my respect for everybody's feeling, their creativity, their desire to have a good time, their family feeling. It's really been wonderful, so I want to thank you all so much.
We live close to each other, just outside of Los Angeles. About 6 months ago, we were having dinner, and I'm like, dude, you got to do these things, man. I mean, it's really great because you meet people, and they really like you, unlike Hollywood, which seems to don't care damn much,
You come someplace and they go, hi. You go, hi.
So I just dig it, and I get to hold babies, and I get to, and I do it, and I'm not even running for office. And so I'm glad he joined me here, and
well, he's the best. We met, I think, like the second or third day I was doing the picture, and the immediate feeling you get from Mr. Hudson is that he's a class and deep-act, and it's been that way ever since. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
It's been a good friendship in a long time. And
so
at the end of Ghostbusters, both of you got covered in marshmallow goo. I'd like to know what that experience is like. And also, why didn't Bill Murray get covered in
the marshmallow goo. In fact, it's funny because when I see the movie, I think about it. The marshmallow goo was it was shaving cream. They had these big vats of shaving cream. They put it over us, and it was really, which is okay for a minute, but after you wear it for 12 hours, it starts to dry, and it gets in. Danny had like a rash from it. It just really was not very much fun.
But when they slimed me, it was on the back lot, and it was one of the last days. So they said, just stand here, and we have a bag. And I went, okay, cool. I got a bag, and I looked up, and it's this enormous bag. And I said, what's in it? And they say shaving cream. Dude, it's just shaving cream. And I went, okay. And how much shaving cream? I don't know, man. It's filled with shaving cream. And I said, well, is it wrong for me to ask how much shaving cream is it? Okay. They went. They said, it's 150 pounds of shaving cream.
Oh, wow.
And I went, you're going to put 150 pounds of shaving cream on my head? It's like, man, come on, is this another sissy actor thing? I mean, come on, stand there. You're going to have, I said, yeah, but you know, in the 8th grade, 150 pounds of feathers and 150 pounds of lead is 150 pounds. I said, is there some way that we can kind of work this out? And they said, okay, we'll get a stunt person. Okay, get a stunt guy, and we're just going to do an experiment. Will you be happy with that? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody. Yeah, fine. Okay, George, can come in here. Okay, stand there, putting up. So they did, and they opened it up on George, and it knocked him flat. And they, oh, wow. That was really heavy. Come on, man. They said, okay. So they cut it down, and they put 75 pounds of shaving. That I could kind of live with, and I did for a little bit. So that's my shaving story. That was me against kind of like the government.
Did you get hazard pay? Did you get hazard pay?
No. I didn't have the intelligence to ask.
Bill Murray just, you know, we got covered all this stuff, and Bill comes walking out with nothing on him. Yeah, it was actually funny, and the fact that it was funny, we was
irritating.
That 27 years later, you'd be asking questions about it. Apparently, it was the thing to do, you know.
I guess you couldn't get really close to Sigourney Weaver if he was totally covered.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been a problem. You know? Yeah.
A lot of years in working on the video games.
Well, see, the video game is really cool to look at after you do it. But it's mostly, you're in the room for hours by yourself. Yeah. And you're going, ooh! Okay, Bill, can we do that again, please? Like a little more pain, and a little more humor with the pain. It's a game. Okay. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, we'll have lunch back at 2? Okay. That's what it was like doing.
I love it, you know. It is really kind of, when I'm listening and I go, yes, exactly. You know, I'm just so happy to have a job. I'm like, okay, I can do more pain with a little love in it, and I guess pain with love, yeah.
The pain with love and pleasure and the hurt too.
But but once again, I think it's all of it, and you just have to enjoy it all. I think now.
This is a story I might as well tell you, because it's kind of like, well, I just might as well tell you. I was doing this reading, this theatrical reading for Joseph Papp, who was the head of the Public Theater in New York. And he wanted to have it, he was a very big guy in the 80s and 70s and 80s. And I did my original theater stuff. And he was really it. And very classy, very important, very big. So he would have all these actors come and read plays for him. Actors that he liked. And I'd go and read with George C. Scott and Charlie Durning, Meryl Streep would be there. We'd read Chekhov. We would read some Shakespeare. We wanted to hear it again to decide whether he wanted to do it, or do a new production of it, or a new interpretation of it. So it's at the Minskoff Theaters, and the Minskoff rehearsal rooms on 43rd Street in New York, and big panoramic windows overlooking Times Square. So I just done this reading of The Cherry Orchard, Chekhov, and I was doing a scene, and I was feeling terribly deep and talented. And I was going down in the elevator, and I was out on the street, had this wonderful reading, and I saw that Ghostbusters had just opened. It was at the Criterion, And it was going, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, kind of back in my heart. And walking down the street, and all of these buses are pulled up in front of the Criterion Theater. And all of the kids from the Fresh Air Fund at camp were coming into the city to see a movie, and the movie was Ghostbusters. So I'm looking at the kids, and I'm thinking of the scene, and then I'm thinking of Chekhov. And I'm walking down under the canopy, and looking at the theater, and about 500 million kids leaned out of the bus and went, "Hey, Nicholas!"
Oh no!
And I seriously wondered about a sequel for that.
Yeah, you keep the one that doesn't have your information and stuck it in there. All right, good luck to you. Giant. Wait, Sherry said great answers. I don't know. Doesn't matter which one you're looking at. Where's the ticket by thing?
The alien plane manufacturer? And he knows well. Smart. He thinks this is Smart, is that? Period. Oh yeah, I know. Is this the Hogan's you work for? Yep. You work for Robert? Yeah. Oh. Well, I used to. I think I've seen you. I used to. Well, I was I would make some
Oh, I know, they already got their lab coats, but only one needs to be glued.
Yeah, we're doing it.
They're all blue. And then, of course, Joe's got this giant RCA thing. What is that called? It's like a shoulder tag.
I was their outside guy. I put millions of dollars in the boat.
Are you in the same boat? We did. Over here. What? Oh, it is. You want to go over there?
Yeah, they're right back
Stay put marshmallows. Awesome.
That is amazing.